time was never meant to bend. But Jungkook had always been drawn to impossible things. He was a physics student obsessed with the idea that time wasn't a straight line, but a web full of intersections, loops, and lost threads. When his university's abandoned lab reopened, Jungkook couldn't resist exploring. He didn't expect the old prototype to work. He didn't expect to fall through time. And he definitely didn't expect him. When Jungkook opened his eyes, he wasn't in the lab anymore. The world smelled of old paper and rain. Gas lamps flickered along cobblestone streets. A horse-drawn carriage rolled past. He stumbled out of the alley, confused, and collided straight into someone. "Watch where you're," the man stopped mid-sentence. Jungkook froze. Golden brown hair, dark eyes like dusk, a small birthmark below his lip. Taehyung, he didn't know how he knew the name, only that it fit him perfectly, like a memory had never made but somehow remembered. Taehyung lived in 1897. An artist, painting portraits for novels but dreaming of stars. He took Jungkook in after finding him lost and delirious, calling him strange but charming. "You talk like a scholar, but you dress like no one I've ever seen," Taehyung mused one night as Jungkook sat by the fireplace. Jungkook smiled faintly. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you where I'm from." Taehyung's gaze softened. "Then don't tell me, just stay," and Jungkook did. Days became weeks. Jungkook helped Taehyung mix paints, fix canvases, chase sunlight through the city. They laughed, argued, shared secrets. And every time their fingers brushed, something electric sparked, the kind of pull that defied centuries. One night, the stars burned brighter than usual. They stood on the balcony, the city asleep below. "I wish time could stop here," Taehyung murmured. "Just us forever." Jungkook's throat tightened. He wanted to say it, that time really could stop, that had already broken its laws. But he couldn't. He couldn't risk changing the past. So instead, he whispered, "If I ever lose you, I'll find you again. No matter how many worlds I have to cross." Taehyung smiled, eyes glistening. "Then I'll wait." But fate was cruel. The machine that brought Jungkook here had a limit. It began pulling him back, at first, just flippers, moments where he'd blink and find himself in the present for a second, then back again. He hid it from Taehyung. He could bear to tell him the truth, until the night everything shattered. A storm raged outside. The lights flickered. Taehyung turned from his easel, worry written across his face. "What's happening?" Jungkook felt the pull, that invisible force dragging him through time again. He reached for Taehyung's hand. Their fingers intertwined, light sparking between them. "I'm sorry," Jungkook choked. "I can't stay." Taehyung's eyes widened, tears spilling. "You can't just, Jungkook, please." The world split apart, and Jungkook was gone. He woke up back in the lab, the machine smoking, the calendar flashing 2025. Everything was the same. But he wasn't. He carried the memory of Taehyung like a wound and a promise. He tried to move on, to bury himself in research. But one evening, while visiting an art exhibit at the university museum, he froze. A painting hung on the wall, dated 1898, a portrait of him. The artist's signature read, "Kim Taehyung," and below, in delicate cursive, "If time allowed us, I would find you again." Jungkook's heart broke and mended all at once. He pressed his palm to the glass, whispering, "You did wait, didn't you?" And though the world was silent, Jungkook swore he heard a voice, warm and distant, reply, "Always."